a very good chance we're stuck here. Come on, come on, come on. All right, there you go. Nope, good old Jeep. God bless USA. Welcome back to Adam Drives LA. I'm Adam, and today we've got a treat. This is the brand new 2020 Jeep Gladiator, or as it's better known, the Jeep Wrangler pickup truck. This is considered the only convertible pickup truck in the world. I have the removable hardtop. This car, along with the mid-engine Corvette and the new Ford Bronco that's coming out, probably these three are the most anticipated cars of the last 10 years. And we've got this one in the gorgeous Santa Monica Mountains. This is a December day in LA. It's about 80 degrees near the beach. We're gonna take it off-road. We're gonna take it into the city by the beach. I'll show you what it's like living with this car. I'll tell you what I love about it, tell you what I hate about it, and I'll tell you if I think you should get one. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Driving the Jeep Gladiator really takes me back to 2007 when I was 17 years old and I worked at a Jeep Chrysler Dodge dealership as a salesman. And when I would go on test drives with people in the Jeep Wrangler, even the four-door, I felt like I really had to sell them on the car, because if I can feel that they weren't going to use it for what it was intended for, they're just not going to enjoy the car. It wasn't a good car to drive around the city. The car, the actual feeling of the body roll and how loose the car, it did not feel stable in any sense of the word. The features on the inside were not great. The interior was really bland. Now I'm getting in this thing and it drives really nicely. It handles fairly well. I mean, it doesn't feel like a really unstable car like it used to. It feels kind of compact, and that's probably because the hood, you know, tapers inward as it goes forward. So the car doesn't feel big. I look back, you know, in the rear view, I have no visibility, but I don't see the bed of the truck. I just see it end there. So it feels smaller than it actually is. We're in Santa Monica and we're gonna go up to Mescal Canyon Road, which goes into a couple of state parks. So I'll show you what that's like. This is probably the closest to off-roading we're gonna get with this car in this area. The interior of the car, it's okay. I mean, for a car like this, it's great. I know they offer, instead of this gray trim that I have on this one, I know they offer an option where you can make it body color. I think that would be a lot nicer if it was red, just like the exterior of the car. The screen here is very small. I wish it was a little bit bigger, especially because there are some options on this car, like on the Rubicon. They offer cameras all around the car, especially up front, so when you're rock climbing, you can see directly what's below you and what's in front of you. And I think the screen is a little bit too small to really highlight all that. Everything feels great. I can imagine this is a very cozy car to kind of even go on a road trip with. The one thing that really bothers me is up here. I know we have the hardtop that's a removable top, so it's great to be able to say we have a convertible pickup truck, but at the same time, it's unpainted, unfinished. It's this really ugly color. It reminds me of a swimming pool for some reason. I don't know, like an old bathtub. It's not attractive. I wish they either could do a body color or just line it with something. I know they want it to be rugged and for you to be able to throw it around and stuff, but I don't know, this really bothers me. I wish it was just kind of a rubberized black, just something other than this white blaring bathtub that's on top of me. Might as well see what this thing can do. Yeah, see, I'm flooring it and I can see it going up a single digit at a time. It goes 54, 55, 56 miles per hour, and I know that's not what it was made for. It's not a fast car. It does not, you can probably see in the camera, it doesn't even set me back in my seat. But again, that's not what this car was made for. I don't know what I'm doing taking a fast turn with this car, but I gotta say, it doesn't feel anything like what I remember back in 2007. The car actually handles really well for what it is. And look at the view. Every time I come out to the west side near the coast, I just want to explore all the little streets. There are so many hidden gems in LA around this area. I mean, what is LA without the palm trees? Look at that, trees on trees. a city boy. I don't know what I'm doing out here. I'm just going at it and hoping that I don't get stuck, because I don't see anyone, and I did not see anyone for miles. Oh, this is gonna be a rough one. From what I saw in the clearance of the car, I feel really comfortable doing all this. I'm not worried about getting stuck as of yet. And I mean, I'm obviously not in the sand dunes, but for a stock Wrangler, I am impressed. Again, it's performing extremely well by my standards. There's a very good chance we're stuck here. Come on, come on, come on. All right, there you go. Nope. Good old Jeep. God bless USA. We do have the removable hardtop, and I will go ahead and show you how it works. But the reason I'm not driving with it off is for two reasons. One, the rear part of it is not very easy to take off. Okay, so that it has a defroster on the rear window because it's a hardtop. So there's some parts that you have to disconnect. You need some tools. It's not so easy. So that we're not gonna do. The top, I will tell you also, the reason I'm not driving with it off is because in some of my convertible videos that I filmed recently, I see the sun just blaring into the camera, so I'm trying to avoid that on this one. But if you wanted to see how it's taken on and off, here is a quick video of how I did it. To remove the top, there's a couple of latches up front here and a couple behind me and maybe one or two on the sides. It's really simple. I mean, you could take the entire front half off within 40 seconds probably, and they're actually remarkably light pieces when they come off. You know, I remember driving the Aston Martin, and I went through a little rough patch on some road that had a little bit of damage on it, maybe a pothole or two, and I remember just barely creaking through it and feeling every bump and making sure I get through it without scratching the car. This car, I just came out of the mountains. I'm on the smooth roads on Sunset Boulevard, and I feel like there's no difference. It was really smooth even up in the hills. I didn't have a problem anywhere. I didn't feel that I was really gonna get stuck. There was a moment that I thought I got stuck, and the car turned out to prove me wrong. It's incredibly capable. You know what's a shame is most of the buyers of this car in Los Angeles are these, you know, high school girls that are just old enough to get their driver's license, and their parents buy them a Jeep Wrangler, and they're never going to use it off-roading. The closest they'll get to off-roading is when they're busy in their group chat and they lose sight of the road and they physically go off the road. That's the closest they're going to come to actually utilizing this car. And maybe in that case they realize, wow, this car really is capable. I mean, look, I'm tumbling down this hill. The car feels planted when it lands on its wheels. Maybe that's when they'll realize it. The back seats in this car, they're not amazing. They're pretty small, they're pretty basic. Because the doors are all removable, none of the window switches or electronics are attached to the doors. All of the window switches are in the center here. Even the ones in the back are down in the center. I guess the closest competition to this car would be the Toyota Tacoma, which is a difficult one to go up against. At its price, it's always been known to be the best pickup truck you can buy, especially if you're utilizing the pickup truck for what it was meant for. This, I think the buyers of this are people who wanted a Wrangler, but they can use the extra storage, the extra space for work or something, but they really wanted a Wrangler. They weren't dying for a pickup truck. They were just after a Jeep. They needed something that goes off-road, and they just did not want a typical pickup truck. This is a very cool looking car. And while we're talking about the design, let's get right into it. The proportions are definitely odd. I'm not gonna lie, I look at this thing and I say, what the hell is going on? And I know what bothers me most is that rear door. And I was looking at it and I realized they just used the same rear door from the Wrangler. The Wrangler has that angle because it has to overcome the rear wheel. This does not have that problem because it's a longer wheelbase. So I guess they wanted to save money, but they did put that same door. That bothers me more than anything. Other than that, the car looks aggressive. The front end, the grille is a little wider than the standard Wrangler. But other than that, yeah, the proportions are a little bit odd. They bother me, but the car looks great. In red, it attracts a lot of attention. I can see that. And I think people are looking at it as this quirky, odd-looking car rather than this sexy red car coming down the road. That is so cool. It has a little silhouette of a Jeep Gladiator on the shifter. the car from the outside looks intimidatingly big. It really does look massive, but when you really break it down, you look at, okay, the front half is like a little Wrangler. The rear half, you know, you measure, it's only 5 feet. They've always measured to make sure that it fits like 95% of motorcycles. I don't know why that's the unit of measurement for the pickup trucks, I guess, but that's not my world. But you break this down and you say, okay, yeah, it's a little bit here, a little bit here. It looks big, but even inside, it feels really small. I mean, look back, look forward, look around. It's a tight little car, and I like that. I don't like for the inside of the car to feel overwhelmingly big and you're constantly worried about bumping and hitting. I mean, I feel nice and secure and tight in the lane I'm in. I don't feel that the car is wobbling in and out. I don't feel I have to worry about the walls to my sides, to my front, anywhere. By all means, I would recommend, you know, buy one. I went into this mainly, I was going to look at the drivability. How is it to drive? Because I knew it was just an awful car to drive back in 2007. The interior was not a good place to be in. I just did not enjoy the car unless you're taking it and using it for what it was built for. This is different. Now, I don't think you need to strictly look at that and base your opinion on how often you'll be taking this thing rock climbing. It's not like that. It's generally a pleasant car to drive around the city. It does well on the highway. I did not feel the car rocking back and forth. I didn't feel that the wind was a problem, which normally with these boxy cars, it is. In the G-Wagon, it still was a problem. I felt the car rocking back and forth at higher speeds. I don't have that problem with this car. I mean, I would give a lot of props to Jeep. They really improved this car to the point where the average person might want to just have one in their garage. And with all that said, that wraps up yet another video. Jeep really surprised me with this one. I love driving this car. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe, like, and hit the comments. Tell me if you prefer this or you would take the regular Wrangler over it, because I am definitely on the Gladiator on this one. Guys, we don't normally do this, but I had to pull over. Check out the view from behind the Gladiator. It doesn't get any more LA than that.